Hello and welcome to top 8 of the Portland Materia Cup. We have Julian H on the top playing Warriors versus Alex E on the bottom playing Wall 7. And I believe both of these players are from the San Fran area, if I recall. I believe I saw them at they were helping out with the Materia Cup there. So it's pretty
fantastic.
nice seeing them play each other. Good.
Oh, some good early game sportsmanship. Probably good friends. I think this battle might have been one that they were both hoping to try to get qualifications, still needing them each. We'll kind of see how that ends up shaping up here in this matchup. So in this matchup, who do you think has kind of, you're definitely more of an expert of Warrior 7 than I am, or Wool 7 than I am. Who do you feel is favored here?
So going first, I think that Warriors is favored because of cards like Mog 6 and Amaterasu, and like in this case, Julian just searched for Amaterasu. Because if we're relying on a search card to search for the Wall 7, then just turn 1 jamming Mog 6 is pretty good. Now,
absolutely,
you can still natural draw the Wall 7, and that's where cards like Amaterasu is better, right? So I don't think that Alex is going to do this, but I do know some players would actually jam the Wall 7 right here.
Just right into the Amaterasu, leave them in kind of a interesting spot of like, are you gonna go ahead and do it? I kind of want to go ahead and get the forward in play before you have a chance to start developing your own powerful options.
Yeah, and then I think some players also would hold it for a very long time. But I think the sooner the better in terms of getting rid of the Amaterasu, right? So
yeah,
because look at this case, like Tyvis is coming down and getting the Mog, right? So no more searching. Luckily we have the Wall 7 already, but this game looks already pretty favored for Julian.
Okay, so really that turn 1 play advantage is a big factor here. It is definitely interesting that, as you mentioned, you could kind of potentially fire off the Amaterasu on the Sarah, just because the draw 2 could potentially be something, especially when you're kind of leaving your draws up to chance. So for this Warrior 7 build is going to be kind of like what we were seeing before, where we do have the Sylvesters again. We also have Y'shtola, the new Clive. So some very interesting options for the deck. It kind of gives it a little bit of resiliency with that Y'shtola. I don't know if the Y'shtola is going to be quite as relevant in this matchup as it is against, Earth decks or any kind of board wipes or big spell decks like the Chaos Arc.
Well, something that it can be useful for here is if Alex draws the green Y'shtola here, and we already have the 4-color Warrior Light, we cast the green Y'shtola and then we cast Wall 7, and then Amaterasu doesn't do anything. Oh, here, okay. Are we jamming or are we waiting? Okay, we're waiting. So next turn, that Wall 7's probably going to come down.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I do like the fact that at least we can protect it when we are going to go for the Amaterasu, or potentially be getting Amaterasu. Always a possibility that Julian could fire off like a Cooch Lane ahead of time to try to stifle the Y'shtola, but
yeah,
we'll see what ends up shaping up here. I do like being in a spot where I think both of these decks just really want to try turn sideways as early and often as possible, right?
Yeah, because I think Julian has more EX bursts, but generally speaking, there's one in Alex's deck, exactly one Aria. But yeah, Wall 7 decks usually have like 5 or less EX bursts, where Fire Water it can be a huge, like 15 to 25. It just depends on what's in the deck. So
Yeah, and he is all the way up to 19. It's just there are a lot that sometimes will be relevant, sometimes won't. We do have the 3x ward, but sometimes that doesn't really have a target against Warrior of Light.
A few things I do want to point out with Alex's deck here, though, too, as we see Yuzuki put into play from the Hyvis, is so you already pointed out Ishtola in the deck, in the new Clive. We're playing White Tiger, Lycian Nimbus in the deck as well, and we have 3 Mog 6, and I know that can be a contentious decision. Some people really like Mog 6 and Wall 7, some people really don't like it. In this case also, there's no Tyvis in the deck, so it's funny. Alex has 3 and Julian has 2 Mogs, so and Julian's the warrior
Yeah,
deck.
a lot of Mogs.
So
it's very good in both of these,
yeah,
and against both of these decks, really.
Yeah. So it's just
Julian
really
a little bit more so going to be able to take advantage of it with the one of Volker and just the Tyvis, but just Mog 6 sometimes can be exceptionally powerful.
Okay, so the Alma happens and we cancel it.
Yep, we're getting it out.
Okay,
right, Alpha No coming out.
This would be good if Mog wasn't there, but I'm assuming we're going to cancel the search.
Yeah, okay. We were thinking on it, but I was a little surprised if that search was going to go off there.
Oh, I see a Gilgamesh in Alex's hand. This is a really, really good position for it, because Julian only has the 2 cards that he drew for turn. And we had the wall special, so this might be a really, really big advantage.
Pretty powerful pretty quick if Julian kind of plays out his hand here like he is primed for getting ripped apart by Gilgamesh.
Oh, I see he has the Dane in there, but he's going to get it. But oh, if only we could play that right now, right? That'd be really good.
I'm sure Alex is thinking that too. Is like, how is he going to get that Zidane in play before I put this Gilgamesh out? Probably going to prompt him to go ahead and fire it off even faster.
We have Zeromus as well.
Yep, so we will have access to that Ice and Lightning in the break zone. So that should kind of cover us for a lot of colors.
Yeah, I think Alex has all 7 colors in his hand, actually.
So this could be a pretty pivotal spot. Now, once again, we did mention Julian does have a significant more amount of bursts in deck. A lot of them are really just going to be kind of like +1s. So not sure if, a couple +1s are not the end of the world when you're going to be as ahead as you could potentially be here on Alex's side.
Now this is interesting.
Be a little surprised if we don't go ahead and fire off the Gilgamesh, though. We are going to Cloud, get rid of the Yuzuki, but yeah, if we're going for Cloud, that's making me think maybe we aren't going to go for the Gilgamesh.
Do we have another ice card? I think we're waiting a turn. Now this is interesting. Do you block this? The Alphano attack is interesting because, in a way, you kind of threaten like LB Zach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Alex has 5 cards in his hand too. So, yeah, I mean, I like the attack, but I know some people would always call it and always block there. Ferris. Okay. So
I mean, Tyvis being one of the most important cards that Alex can, or that Julian can have out at this point, potentially trying to remove it. I like the attack from the Alphano. I don't know if I'm calling that bluff or not
right.
at that that spot, because I feel like it is something that he almost is just fully incentivized to go ahead and pull that trigger on.
Okay, we drew another Zidane. I'm sitting here like, this Ferris can put in play Zidane, but we discarded it. So now this is Ferris was a really good draw here, because we're gonna see what's in Alex's hand, and the jig is up. This was the kind of we're getting a backfire here of not playing the Gilgamesh last turn, because Zidane's definitely gonna take it.
Yeah, this is a big surprise that we did not go for the Gilgamesh here. So we would have been all 3 attacks, right?
We had it in our hand, so yes. That being said, if you look at, if Zidane didn't come into play this turn, right, we do have 5 attacks still. So I could I could see that was being Alex's.
But we did know he had Zidane, so the potential for him to play Zidane this next turn is pretty non-zero, right? It's any Axstar,
Ferris, yeah.
For Ferris.
Another Zidane, which he did draw another Zidane too.
Yeah, it technically could have just done it that way as well.
So we have to take this Gilgamesh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna give her opponent a card, and then...
Well, we gotta take the Clive, right?
Yeah, I
pretty good cards.
Pretty inclined to take that Clive here. We got 2 9Ks coming in behind. We just need our opponent to kind of not do too much on their turn. The protection is fine, but when the board is behind, protection doesn't mean nearly as much. So definitely good. And like we were mentioning, not as many EX bursts on this side of the table.
So Gilgamesh here still wins it. If Alex drew into it.
Does not look like it. It looks like a Tiger Lassie, and I think there was a Zeromus.
Oh, Zeromus is pretty good here too, actually. Like, really good.
Zeromus can put out a lot of pressure now that we're at damage 3. Yeah, I see it kind of chilling in the bottom of that stack. If do we have a lightning card to play it?
I don't think so.
Oh, that might be our disappointment right there. That being said, we could always Sylvester. That might be what we're looking at. Sylvester
and then put in play the Zeromus off of it.
I like that play a lot. Yep, looks like that's what's happening. So now our opponent knows we have 2 protection spells in hand with these warrior lights. And yep, here comes the Zeromus going to tap down the Zidane. Course, because that guy is unblockable at the moment. Now we're not attacking with our Warrior of Light.
Yeah, I think that's correct, because if anything happens here, you want to ultimate shield to protect Zeromus, because it doles the entire board. So I think that's correct. Although, again, we still aren't presenting full lethal yet, unless we get Gilgamesh, right?
Yeah, we would have to get the Gilgamesh. Another option, just kind of thinking through the lines, obviously we lose out on the protection, which is the really big reason why not to swing. But I mean, if our opponent does block, we're trading into 2 exceptional forwards on their side, whereas Warrior of Light on our side kind of, I mean, he's protection, but him being dead means I can play one of these other ones that is in play or in my hand. So and that gives me 5 extra draws to hit Gilgamesh and end the game on the spot.
Yeah, I think if I was going to attack, though, I think I would have attacked before playing Sylvester.
Sure, yeah.
and then if a block happens, I don't play Sylvester.
Yeah, opponent not knowing necessarily what we're gonna do. I do think if we had just swung Warrior of Light, our opponent's not blocking.
So I believe this is combat. And did we try to prime during combat? I think we did, and the judge said no. That's my guess. Because we took the fire card back. There's an Ifrit. Yeah, okay, so we're still in combat.
Okay.
Oh, okay, this is scary. That block, I would have ultimate shielded first.
And here, we're trading Cloud? Yeah. I think we gotta get rid of that.
Yeah, I think... Oh, okay, pumping? Okay. So, but now Julian's gonna prime, and it's gonna kill the Zeromus.
Yep. Yeah, this is the downside of not ultimate shielding here. I mean, if we had not ultimate shielded, we would, or if we had ultimate shielded, we could have done a lot more there.
Like, we're obviously playing Wall 7 here, but we...
I think
chance now, yeah?
Yeah, I think at the point where we didn't attack with Warrior of Light, we probably could have just... Oh, no. Did not hit the Gilgamesh. But one of the things... I think we just take everything if we don't...
Yeah.
Right, and if he swings with Clive, then we can block with Cloud again, right? Like, everything else the same. But I think we just wanted to leave our board as up as possible. I mean, we had Zero Miss. Our opponent couldn't respond. He was at pretty close to lethal. Zero Miss plus Dull Freezing something. I don't see how we were losing this next turn. But now we did.
Zero Miss is real good, so...
Yeah.
And the Ferris. Are we not searching with Ferris? It is a May. Okay, we are. Okay.
No, we're getting it. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the hitting the Ferris and the Zeromus here was pretty perfect, though, because Zeromus has haste right now, and we can freeze the other two, and we killed the Zidane. So, this is still... This was a really good flip from Alex for the Wall 7.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're really not in danger now that we've frozen potentially both of the forwards.
We're kind of back to where we were. Oh,
we went for the Lena. Interesting.
I guess it makes sense because Typhus is going to be dual next turn anyways. And there's a good chance Julian's just going to attack with it.
Yeah, one extra damage is not the end of the world here. I would like him to not block with Warrior of Light and just, hold up whatever protection he can. Yep. That is going to be the most important thing. All right, getting a Clive. Going to be able to hold up a special. However, we have very many specials in hand.
Very many ultimate shields.
Yeah, we have 2 bullets still in the chamber for Warrior Light. Yeah.
So we're in a spot right here where Alex draws any of these hasters, the game's over. Like a Clive, assuming they can be cast. A Clive. Oh, we're trading. I guess we're playing again.
I mean, at this point, actually, since he did already play out the everything in hand, we can just play it again. It gives us another shot for the Gilgamesh at this point. Yeah, that's because that's my only thought process is I want to hit Gilgamesh. I want to end the game immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Exactly what we hit. It was a good play there. Get our card.
Are we out of Warrior Lights? I believe so.
We definitely have the colors.
Yep. I think we're out of Warrior Light, so we can't preemptively special here. So, but we do have 4 attackers. Second attack.
And that field is going to get very frozen.
So this next attack, I think it's over, right? So
It has to be Lev 6.
well,
right?
if Alex attacks with Warrior of Light, then Lev 6 isn't an out anymore, right?
Correct. Nope. As long as it is not explicitly Lev 6, that is game. Yep. And we will knock out game 1, go on to game 2. So Alex will take down game 1, Warrior of Light versus Warriors.
I feel like these players played this a lot more attrition-y than aggressively, and I'm not used to that, to be honest. It was interesting. There was a lot of thinking involved, you know.
You were like, go for the throat, go for the throat.
Well, I mean, Gilgamesh kind of wants you to do that, you know.
Absolutely. That is the one thing that I would kind of question from Alex and see what his kind of thoughts were at the time of, you know, just go ahead and pulling the Band-Aid off of that Gilgamesh. Even if you didn't have to like play the what is it, Ultimate Shield, or you didn't want to fire that off to give him all of the attacks, at least getting in and getting 1 attack, I think, is pretty sufficient. And your opponent, I mean, while you're holding all these shields in hand, right? Like, how are they going to deal with it? If they do try to deal with it, then becomes active, and then all of a sudden they're just, the game's over.
Yeah, and I'm curious if Julian's gonna. It's gonna depend on his hand. But jamming, he's going first again. Is he gonna jam a turn 1 Tyvis into Mog, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But if he does, like, Alex can still natural draw the wall 7, and you know, if you're jamming Tyvis, if you're playing backup and then playing Tyvis, you're not gonna have very many cards left. So
yeah,
you won't be able to Amma most likely. I'm just curious. There's a lot of different ways and angles you can go here with the Warrior deck.
Yeah, I definitely do feel like the very first and second turn make a huge difference on the overall tone and goal of the game. Looks like they had a card staying out of the deck. I think there is getting that fixed real quick. May have just been a loose sleeve.
I actually don't know the ruling on this. So I do in other games, like the decks were presented and it was a 49 card deck, right? But neither player opened their hand, like drew an opening hand. So I don't think a game loss is going to happen or anything, but
no, yeah,
I don't know, in some other games that it would be, you know?
Yeah, sometimes they can be a little strict on stuff like that, but if hands haven't been drawn,
yeah, we're just gonna shuffle it in. Okay,
pretty recoverable situation. And on the whole, Final Fantasy usually has leaned towards recoverable situations, to just kind of recover where we can.
Yeah, I mean, this was I'm glad that it was found before the game started, because if the game starts, it's too late, you know. It's
that is
loss, you know?
Unrecoverable. Yeah, you were playing an invalid deck. Is why it is not terrible to pile shuffle your decks. Pile shuffling, a very, very deceptively not great form of shuffling. However, a very good way of counting your cards.
I'm gonna disagree. I just count my deck. But I get it. Like, people have their own ways to shuffle. Comforting.
Yeah.
In my opinion, comfort is the most important thing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
The way I lay out my pile shuffles is like I literally just like take the cards and I just like fan them over the sections. So it actually counts usually a lot faster than I do. I'm weird whenever I count things. I count to 20 and then I stop, and then I like take a note, and then I count in sets of 20s.
Oh, sure.
I don't like counting like all 50 all at once.
I do tens, but yeah, same difference.
Yeah. If I then come back with my 20 count being off, then I will literally just lay them out in piles of tens. I'm like, okay.
I know there are people out there that really mind pile shuffling, but for me, as long as people do it quick, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
here it is.
Yep, the Tyvus. I gotta imagine we're going for a Mog here. Yep, just going right by Yuzuki. No, Axstar.
Do we already have it?
Now, a trick with Axstar is... Wait. Well, actually, wait. No, can we? No.
We can't Axstar in Mog, no.
But we could Axstar in Alpha No, get Mog, play Mog next turn?
Oh, Zidane.
I was... Oh, Zidane? Okay.
I think we're turn one Zidane.
Sure, I was like, there's got to be something we can do with this Axstar. Oh, we have the Zidane in hand, too. Yep, there we go. I like this.
Oh, yeah, not Axstar. Yeah, wrong one. Okay.
Our warriors are doing a disco. Okay, I like this a lot now. Ooh, got some good hits on the other side.
Yep.
Definitely gonna go ahead and take down the main man.
So no matter what now, hopefully we don't draw another Will 7. We have to take this Clive.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're 100% on Clive.
Yeah, yeah, we have to.
Clive's pretty gross.
But now I'm also curious what Alex is gonna do, because that's the problem.
Yeah, we do need to answer that, because like we can't just play Sylvester and pass here. We could play Sylvester and then play Warrior of Light? Question mark, right? No, or one card short.
1, 2, 3. We could if we put nothing into play, I think. Oh no, we can't, right?
No, we still can't. We're still one card short.
Yeah, we're still, yeah.
So, Warrior Light probably not happening this turn. Yeah, we would need the Sarah FFL be able to get that line. This is interesting. I love this start from Julia. Definitely put Alex in a rough spot. Make him think over here. That's what it's all about. Does have the Yola in hand.
I don't think we can. Can we Sylvester for Warrior Light and then play Alpha No, search for Clive Prime? I don't think we can do all that. I'm just trying to think of Alpha No lines.
No, because yeah, if Warrior Light was not a light card.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we do have to get a light card off of Sylvester.
I think that's what I'm thinking is exactly what Alex is thinking too. Oh, well, we can get 3 CP. What's the same thing? It doesn't matter.
What do we have in our LB? Do we have anything? Do we have access to Victoria here? Like, I think we can ask Victoria, the Zidane.
Oh, Victoria is not. Oh, it is. There it is. Never mind. Yeah, Victoria is. Yeah, it's there.
I think that's where. I think that's where I would be leaning at the moment. Either Victoria or Cloud. Either deal with the Zidane, deal with the Axstar.
Yeah, if we go Sylvester for Warrior Light, put and play Alpha No, and then Victoria afterwards, that seems like a good play.
Yep.
I think. Oh, okay.
Nope. This is also an option.
Yeah, this is going to put in play an Alpha No.
Yep.
We're going to dull freeze the board.
I'm going to dull freeze the board, kill off his Axstar.
Remember what I said last game, being attrition and not aggro? Who needs backups?
Yeah, but both players heard you
Yeah.
through FaceTime distorting. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get the Warrior Light, so we're set up for next turn to just jam out the Warrior Light. Love this play.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. So we were thinking of just answering Zidane, but theoretically, like the Tybus is still there, and if you leave Axstar, then it could still be a bit of a threat, just attacking with it with Tybus in play, right? So this is technically aggressive and more controlling at the same time. And I'm actually again curious if Alex is just gonna jam Wall 7 next turn, just dump his whole hand. I don't know.
Well, considering we're seeing that happen on Julian's side, going for the Luna Freya here, based on what he sees off the Luna Freya, will probably determine if that does become the line. But I gotta feel pretty inclined to go for. Oh, interesting. Thornton, selfie.
If we had one more character, this Lev 6 could like bounce and then get back Furion. That'd be kind of cool, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure of all the warriors or water cards in the discard pile.
Well, we do also have selfie for the fire cards as well.
Mm-hmm.
Could get you get it, Clive and play him and swing, but that would probably just trade with Axstar.
We could Thornton and
but it does get the Axstar off the field.
Yeah. We could Thornton get our own Axstar. I don't really like that play because we don't have any 3s. We could Thornton get Ward, but that leaves the other Axstar still. So we could get Yuzuki, and that's a good defensive play. I don't know. It's a tough decision.
Yeah, there are a lot of lines going on here. I definitely empathize with Julian. There's a bunch of tough spots. Nothing's looking great.
Are we getting a non-burst here? I missed the card. He put it face down.
I think I'm leaning
Love
towards
six,
selfie personally and still going for that Clive line. I think it is going to force Alex into a spot where he's gonna have to block with. That may not be enough though. Iathan. All right, so we're gonna bounce and get something back.
So there's a
gotta
ward. You can't get back ward. You gotta get back a water.
Yeah, it's gotta be the Furion.
It looks like we're gonna put it into play, is my guess. Although I don't know if I would put it into play at this point because the Axe Tower would just kill it.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it here. I think we're just holding.
Attack. Yeah.
I think we're holding and praying for an EX burst.
Yeah, if Julian went for the Clive line you were talking about, having access to Clive, I think Alex has to slam Wall 7, right? Like, just have to get in there.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're probably going to see it anyway. Yeah. Really just needs any other 3-drop forward, which will turn on this Axstar.
No decision making.
Gonna get a couple of cards off of it and some pretty significant board presence. So we're gonna draw 1, 2, 3.
So we're gonna get 2 of these cards technically. Because one goes.
Interesting that you did go for that line. Which way were you thinking of stacking it?
I would have drawn first because I want to. You go 1 card deeper that way, technically.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Is I kind of wanted to go ahead and know one of the cards that was going to be stuck in my hand, and then kind of be able to potentially set up. Um, but the other line is absolutely valid. Knowing both cards you get to put into your hand.
Yeah, I'm curious here. Do you kill the Tyvus or the Zidane?
Given my hand, probably the Zidane. That's wild, but probably the Zidane.
Julian drew a Clive.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And
We're just gonna immediately prime that boy. Yep, and this is why going that one card deeper, the one card I would have been fishing for super hard would have been any Warrior of Light.
Yep.
I don't know if it is the top card of the
We're gonna
deck
find out
now,
probably.
but yeah, if it is, that could have helped us a little bit. Of note, we can Mog 6 that, right? The prime?
Not because there's no stack, so no.
Oh, okay. I actually forgot about that.
Yep.
I had a feeling our players were a little better versed in that than I was.
It's probably block with the Mog at this point, or Alphino, I guess.
Block. This is interesting. Alex is very tempted to throw away his Warrior Lights.
Yeah. He wants the light card in his discard pile.
Yeah.
So Zidane's definitely attacking, right?
At this point, definitely.
Yeah, and this lets Luna Freya get in too, because the Warrior Lights
Yeah,
are
that's why I
there.
don't like that block, is because it does give just... It now turns off this Lena
It
in
was
hand,
not a Warrior
too.
Light. It was a Sylvester.
Okay, well, it would not have made any difference which order we stacked in. We weren't getting a Warrior Light off the top, but... Now, do you like holding back the Luna Freya, or would you have just gone all in?
I think I would have attacked. But
Yeah,
I see it both ways. Because, like, if Alex takes it, then that's 2 more attacks. Like, you're dealing 1 to be taken 2. So, I get it for holding back. But also, Julian doesn't have any cards, and Alex does. So, ending the game as soon as possible, I think, is kind of where I'd land. And you have an evasive attacker with Zidane, so...
Yeah, the evasive attacker plus a 10k haste. If these aren't answered, they are going to kind of wrap up the game pretty quick, regardless of whether we get that extra point in or not. So that's why I was kind of like, I can definitely see it either way.
I am a bit worried here for Julian, though, because there aren't very many cards he can cast next turn, so he's most likely taking a turn off.
And in this stakes and this stage of the game, I don't know if you can afford that.
Yeah. Alex is here thinking about the Seraph FL, and if he's going to play it, I think he has to get 2 Wall 7s. And if he does, then Zidane could take nothing, and then Alex can't cast it the next turn. So I'm curious if that's what he's going to go for. He's thinking. Got a lot of options here. We're going to Leo first, probably. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Leo's really good here, just as a chump blocker for this effort, because this effort's going to run away with the game if we don't do something, so...
Yeah, I just need some kind of warm body to get in front of that big old ferocious beast.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Julian gonna go ahead, draw his 2. See what he can do with those. Does have the more commanding board, but really needs to capitalize on it as soon as possible. Goes ahead, throws them away for some limit break. Yep, comes the Zach. Gonna eat that Leo. So once again, this does kind of leave him in this spot where he is kind of perpetually handless at the moment. Where Alex has like 4 cards in hand.
I believe it's 4.
Yeah.
Yep. We're taking some damage here. And reveal.
Okay, what are we taking? Well, we're never taking the Alpha No. I think we're okay with our opponent playing any backup, even a Sarah FFL.
Yeah, I think it's Clive or nothing.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning.
Because if we play
Nothing being a very viable option at this point.
Because if we take the if we play the Sarah FFL next turn, we can't play Wall 7 still.
Correct. All right, and this.
Well, actually, no,
What did
we
we
can,
get?
right?
We got White Tiger.
Because we have the backup now. So, actually, no, we can. But we would have to. I think we're risking it all. Actually, yeah, we can.
Yeah, we're just playing out our whole hand. Yep.
I still think we take the Clive there because if Alex gets his Ifrit out, I think the game's over.
Yeah, with the card advantage currently in play.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, an Ifrit at this point, top decking against, that would kill off the Zach and the Ifrit.
There's also merit to
We are
state.
Spin the wheel. Oh, baby.
Okay.
Well, that is a lot of stuff we wanted to see, or Alex wanted to see here. Double checking his colors. He does, in fact, have them.
That's
Gilgamesh.
really
I
insane.
imagine Tiger Lassie. Yes, sir. Yeah, and Gilgamesh really gonna show his power of just.
The whole board is gonna get frozen here.
Yes, sir. Honestly, we could freeze more than the board, right? Or no, I guess it's just the board exactly. That's only 4 freezes coming across. All right, draws his 2.
Alex just turned it around.
Yeah, so what could bring this back for us? Axstar? We'd need an extra card. We really need to have hit a burst.
No, Axstar doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And we start with Ultimate Shield. So I think that's game. Wait, what? What's going on? I'm confused. Is this a concession? I am very confused.
I am as well.
Okay. Well, I guess let's see if they go to a game 3.
Yeah, but that was clearly won by Alex there. Or at least had the victory in his jaws. Be interesting. I do know that these 2 players are friends, I believe. So
yeah, I guess we'll hang out here for a sec and see if they go to a game 3. That was kind of strange.
But that did kind of go, little bit back and forth on the match. But I do believe, Alex is definitely benefited in this matchup, as it kind of gets a little bit grindier. If the game is not kind of locked up, the Gilgamesh being the humongously deciding factor here.
Yeah, I do agree. Julian's turn 1 also, I think I 100% agree with it. It kind of forced Alex to play certain ways, and actually, I don't recall completely. I think Julian had no backups. I'm not completely sure, but like that was like a hand that was perfect for no backups. And I've been saying to get Mog and play Mog, but the Zidane angle is also like a good angle, arguably better, just depending on the situation. So I think that's the right avenue, unless you have like a Clive hand, because Axstar in both of these decks are not very powerful, right? Like, because they play a lot of 3s. They're both Axstar decks. So, and I feel like that's kind of what the card that Warriors lean on the most is Axstar. But after that, I think it's Clive Ifrit. So the issue with that is, with the Clive Ifrit line, is if you're letting them wall 7, then they now have ultimate shield. So it's a hard balancing act for sure. You can play the attrition battle and Alma the wall 7, but it's still, Alex still has answers to that, right? Like we saw game 1 where he cast Y'shtola first.
Yeah. Yeah, Y'shtola to protect is definitely a big thing in this matchup. I just don't know if the Warrior deck has quite the firepower to really put Warrior of Light on the back burner fast enough before he can kind of get going. And the inevitability of the late game with Gilgamesh and so many attacks, that's quite substantial and very difficult to deal with. All right, and this game we do have Alex starting us off just with a very modest backup. Took his 1 card draw. However, Julian said no shenanigans. We're going to go ahead and get Zidane out, check out the hand.
Wow, we have Axstar Clive too.
Yeah, we could have.
Axstar's Aroma, sorry. We could have. I don't think we do. Wow, this is like the perfect hand, right?
So take Clive or take Clive. That's rough.
I think we take
Axstar.
Like
we have to take Axstar now,
and then force him to Clive. And if we have our own Clive on the other side, we're dramatically ahead.
Yeah. The Clive Wars are funny because whoever gets theirs out second usually is
we'll have advantage. A Clive special for it. So there'd be none. Oh, okay. But it's still we kind of have to. So like, and also like, imagine if Alex draws wall 7 here, he'd have to pick what he wants to do. I think he drew Axstar or Alpha now. That's really good.
That's pretty good too. Unfortunately, that would only be 6k damage, so it would not kill the Zidane, but does put out quite a threatening board still. Axstar Alphano into Warrior of Light is definitely not a terrible spot to be. And just be prepared for like the next turn. Because like you mentioned, going for the Clive line, it just kind of leaves him a little pants down if Julian has a Clive of his own.
Right. Okay, if we're doing this, I wonder if we're
Axe starring.
X-starring now. Yeah, afterwards.
If we were, I feel like we would have Leo'd instead, just taking the card draw. Axstar is gonna get the damage out anyways.
Maybe there's no water card? I didn't quite see.
Yeah, and Axstar was discarded. I think a Sylvester is the last card though.
So surely I think this gets wall 7, is my guess. Just straight up.
Yeah. Yep. This leaves us in a pretty good spot. Our opponent still, once again, pretty much has to have like Clive Ifrit. Needs something to impact this board very quickly, specifically deal with the Axstar before the wool comes out.
Okay. So yeah, so we're probably gonna get a Typhus here is my guess. And Typhus into Axstar into something is kind of the norm, I would say, for the warrior stuff, but like the Axstar doesn't do anything. There's all 3 drops in play, so
Yeah, unfortunately, playing backups at this stage in the game, when we are staring down the barrel of so much potential threat and damage, you know, all it takes, like we've mentioned before, is like this Warrior of Light to just hit like a Gilgamesh off the top, and have the right cards in the discard pile. It's pretty much game.
So yeah, I'm not sure what we're getting here. It might be Yuzuki again. It is, okay. But still, this is pretty rough for Julian.
Yep. It does offer a little bit of protection from the Axstar, but we will see what. I mean, the biggest thing is can we hit a Gilgamesh off the top here? Somewhere in the next top 7 cards, Alex needs 1 Gilgamesh. There is a Warrior of Light and a Lena. And they're going to go down for Warrior of Light. Oh, okay.
Well, Nimbus is pretty good here too.
Not quite a Gilgamesh, but a miniature Gilgamesh gets that effect. At least for now, can turn the Typhus off, so at least other things can kind of swing in here.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. The Yuzuki's gonna live because of water forwards take 2k less damage. So like if Axstar attacks, it's not gonna do anything, but you can block and then they just push off each other. But this is a lot of pressure from Alex. Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With only 2 cards in hand, I don't know if there's anything really that Julian can draw to get out of this. Okay, we'll see what he decides here. Sorry, we're not talking very much, but there's not much to talk about. We're kind of waiting to see what Julian does. I think Alex has this one.
Yeah, Julian is just kind of thinking through the lines of how can I get out of this? And honestly, I've kind of been trying to go through a couple. I don't know if there's much in the chamber left, unless we can Yugi Moto and Destiny draw a couple extra cards off the top. I have a feeling this will be Alex's victory on next turn.
Yeah, and kind of like what I was mentioning, usually, the trump card is Axstar, right? Well, Alex has all threes and Warrior, Dull Freeze one thing. So,
yeah. And the Gilgamesh didn't even need to come out. The Nimbus alone is going to be doing enough. The miniature Gilgamesh.
Yeah, the fairer
do enough work
Gilgamesh.
there. Yeah, that's true. All right, Axstar untapping, going to our turn. And of course, there is the Gilgamesh off the top as well.
Easy peasy.
I'm going to take a quick peek, see if we have enough colors. I don't know if we have all of the colors, but every little bit helps. Yeah, that's pretty close to enough. At least Gilgamesh is hasty and again, Dull Freeze. Yep. That in combination with the Nimbus is definitely going to kind of wrap it up here. One of the potential threats is, of course, Furion gaining like plus 4k in first strike if he discarded another Furion, even if he dull froze it on initial attack. So I do wonder if, for Alex, if he just wants to like start attacking with like other guys first. Could attack with. I mean, you can just attack with an Axstar first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Leo is not protected from ability damage. It takes 2,000 less, but
that's not gonna matter how much we have. Okay, so he's gonna opt for dull freezing the Furion, hoping Julian does not have a water card in hand. But even just a water card in hand is not quite enough. It really needs to be a water and a fire card in hand to gain the first strike to help him live through this turn.
Yeah, it looks like Gilgamesh attacked and dull froze Suzuki now.
Yep. So I don't know if I love the second attack. I don't know if it's going to matter too much here, but I kind of wanted to hold back the Gilgamesh in case Julian did have like a water fire card. And then could have untapped the Furion and started blocking. Could really put a damper on finishing the game this turn. We'd only lose one forward, but that definitely is a potential, like safety net that Julian could kind of fall onto.
So Alex has enough for lethal here, but you also got to take into account Julian has a bunch of bursts. He hasn't hit any, but any of the bursts that draw a card or search for a card can go get a water card too. So,
yep, that's true. And
like this one,
like that, yeah, there it is. I do wonder if we're just gonna pass now. I kind of feel inclined that we kind of have to.
Yeah, it's not the worst. We have an Istola in play.
Yeah, we have a Istola in play. Our opponent's board is largely locked down. The Yuzuki, the Furion, he's going to have to pitch a card just to attack with Furion to draw a card. And then next turn, unless he deals with a lot of stuff in play, we still get 2 dull freezes. I feel fine just passing. I mean, we attack. The Istola is probably just eating it to the Furion. Alrighty. This does give us 1 extra turn here. It did look like the other card in his hand was a fire card. So it was good that he did go ahead and get rid of the Furion on that first attack. But if our last attack had been... Well, no, he could just activate it in response. I guess it doesn't really matter.
either way, it's really hard for warriors without some unconventional cards, for them to deal with wide boards. So, like I said, Axstar is usually the way to contain them. I think in the past people have played cards like Susano, but I think that's also before you see Kuchulin on the Y'shtola. I think that's before there were like enough good warrior cards. This set they made a bunch of good warrior cards to kind of fill in the blanks. So Susano I feel like isn't really played nowadays. Pybus plays the ward for free, and we can kill the Y'shtola because it was Kucha land. But we still have 3 ways, I guess 2 technically, to push things out of the way.
Yeah, I think once again the big concern potentially throughout this turn is the Furion, but with 2 Dull Freezes, should be able to kind of lock this down.
Yeah, if we're super scared, we could go for like an LB. Obviously, if you could cloud it, the game's over just immediately. If you can't
I don't believe we have an ice card or a lightning card in hand.
So then we can Victoria it, and you still kind of get to see. Oh, you can't Victoria it. Sorry, the Yuzuki's there. I was gonna say you can see, you know, if the coast is clear or not, but you can't Victoria it here.
And that will do it. All right, and congrats to Alex. Moving on to top 4. Both players did get their nationals qualification, so congrats to them. And we will see you all in top 4.